Hello everybody, my name is Eugene, and for today's video, let's talk about content creation tools and also specific examples and concrete examples of those based from the literature, my personal experience, and the experiences of my friends and peers. Let's start with a very familiar concept, TPAC. Now, Kohler and Mishra emphasized that the pedagogical knowledge and content knowledge is not enough anymore to become a competent educator. Nowadays, we need technological knowledge, which is the T in TPAC. We really need to be tech savvy and to adapt into the change of times because it's one of the things that is expected for us to do as teachers, to be flexible, to be moldable, especially in this network, the rise of this network learning environment. And one of the things that we have to really learn and know is all about content creation tools. Well, what is content creation tools in the first place? Well, it's basically, according to Westigard, a set of platforms, technological resources, or even tools in general that allow us educators and course designers to come up with online and digital course content. So it allows us to be creative and to be resourceful enough in being able to design a particular curriculum. In the module that we have right now, that Westigard wrote, he enumerated a lot of individual tools that are used together to create a teaching learning experience. So you can see there we have word processors, desktop publishing software, presentation softwares like PowerPoint and Google Slides. We have web development tools, animation softwares. We have hardware and software for digital image capture, editing, audio, as well as video. We even have like assessment tools like multiple choice quizzes, learning management system, which was already discussed a video prior to this one. And we have forums, which are content arising from class interaction. Well, this list is relevant in all, but take note Westigard wrote the module in 2008. Surely a lot of this content creation tools have already been developed and updated. So what I did is I went into GPT-4. I asked a suggestion of current trends in content creation tools, as well as the literature, my experience and my friend's experience. And I was able to come up with this suggested list of content creation tools that you could use for your classes or for your course design. The first one, I like to call it text and writing tools. Well, this involves word processors like Microsoft Word, Google Docs, which we have been using a lot. We also have note-taking, Evernote, which is what I've been using, OneNote, and blogging platforms like WordPress, Medium, and screenwriting platforms like Final Draft, not free, but such a really good platform based from reviews, and as well as Celtx. The next category that I was able to come up with is the graphic design and imaging tools. It includes everything discussed by Westigard, like image editing, like Adobe Photoshop, GIMP, vector graphics like Adobe Illustrator, Inkscape, infographics like Canva, Pictochart, and 3D modeling like Blender and Autodesk Maya, as well as a lot of like free resources in the web. So of course, this is what Adobe Photoshop. It's an old version. I think it's a 5 version. I've had this very early when I was still in high school. But my advice for if you do Adobe Photoshop, it's for things that are needed from scratch. There are already other existing platforms that allow you to be more efficient than Adobe Photoshop, and you need certain skill set to develop for it to be used effectively. And of course, if you need these efficient platforms, Canva, which is a teacher's best friends, if you're not yet in Canva, then probably you're either missing a lot or you know other platforms that are more efficient than Canva. It gives you a lot of inspiration, a lot of efficient templates to use for your job as a teacher in being able to come up with presentations. And then we have the video creation and editing tools. Well, from the name itself, it means what it means. We have video editing like the Adobe Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, I used Adobe Premiere Pro, but that takes a lot of skills, a lot of time for you to be able to do that one. Animation like Adobe After Effects, Toon Boom, screen recording, Camtasia. I'm also actually using OBS Studio for this recording. I'll show you what it looks like. Live streaming like Streamlabs, XSplit. I also do OBS Studio for live streaming as well. And you know what? Canva is actually very efficient in video editing. I'm doing Canva in editing this video right now. So this is what OBS Studio looks like. We've been using this frequently in the pandemic in our school for live streaming in Facebook for events, and even for screen recording a lot of important things, especially as a teacher where I demonstrate my science demonstrations. I simply just use OBS Studio. And then we have audio creation and editing tools. We have the music production like Ableton Live, GarageBand, and BandLab. Sound editing like Audacity, Adobe Audition, podcast production, which are on Anchor and Podbean. Then we have the web and software development tools. Like if there's web design involved, it could have Adobe Dreamweaver, Webflow, even have Google Sites. You can also use that. Your students could also use that. Coding development like Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, and collaborative web design like GitHub and Bitbucket. And then we have content management and planning tools. Like for project management, they have Trello and Asana, content management systems like Joomla and Drupal, and social media management like Hootsuite and Buffer. I've been using Trello since I learned about it, since college. Trello is really, really good when it comes to working together. You can see the big picture and the small details by a lot of its features. Sometimes I ask my students to use Trello when coming up with a project so I can see their individual input and their process of organizing or coming up with a big project or event. And then we have the marketing and SEO tools. Essentially, these are just platforms that allow students to come up with marketing stuff like Google Ads, Facebook Ads Manager, all those things. And then we have the educational and e-learning tools. These are the LMS, the Moodle, which we are using, the Blackboard. We have also Classcraft, course creation like Teachable, Udemy, and interactive content like Kahoot, Quizlet, Haslides, and RPG Playground. I've been using Classcraft since the pandemic. Really, really great LMS. It allows you to gamify your class in such a way that they can come up with characters, they can come up with classes, job classes, I mean, like a mage, a wizard, or a warrior. I've been a big fan of role-playing games, so this one's really, really enticing, especially my students who are, a huge percentage of them are gamers. Really, really exciting tool to use. And to amp up with the gamification ideas, I also have RPG Playground. This one, you need to learn how to code a bit, but it's not really such a hard thing to do. It's an engine, so I was able to come up with an efficient game for students to play where there's an integration of a lot of lessons. And so this is one that I'm showing you. It's like a level game where for every floor they achieve something and then they have to answer something, so they go to the next level. It really depends on your creativity, but it's something that you can creatively use. I use this for my asynchronous class in the pandemic. And of course we have Kahoot, which is really popular, and students actually can be able to get into it as fast as they could. It's just like a quiz show where they encode a code, and then it's easy really for the class flow to go. And of course we have AI generated tools like the ChatGPT. Canva also have AI generated tools, and a lot of other things with AI infused feature. So there are going to be a lot of involved developments in the future. because AI has been integrating with a lot of these tools, as well as in the education sector. And that's about it. Take note that, years later, the things that I've discussed in this video might easily become outdated. Westergaard even mentioned that in the span of 60 years before 2008, a lot of things have changed. Now, it's already more than 10 years since 2008. So, 60 years more to go, I'm sure the development of tools will become massively exponential. And so we should expect a lot of innovation. Speaking of, here are my discussion points. Now, besides the content creation tools that I've previously mentioned, are there any other tools that you are aware of that I was not able to cover? Please drop them in the comment section so we can learn about it. And second is, what are content creation tool features that you wish existed? Like, what's a content creation tool that would really, really help you a lot? You can describe a description of it. Now, to end our video, please take note the essence of these content creation transcends the mere act of production. It should be rooted in the why, as Simon Sinek in his book said, which is the underlying purpose that guides the creation, really. So as a teacher, please do not focus on the mechanics of the how these content creation tools are used, or the what this creation tools is, even if it's this popular or not. Understand that the why is really crucial for crafting the content that resonates with everybody, the students and yourself, especially the needs of your students, and so that you can foster a meaningful connection to them. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. By the way, if you need me to connect you to the access of some of these platforms, just tell me in the comment section and I'll give you the link. Bye.